Hello there, everybody, and welcome once again to Harrah's Hoosier Park. Michael Chamberlain and Jacob Reinheimer on the Road to the Derby Challenge. And Jacob, this week we have two races that we have to examine. We're going to do two separate videos. The first of those is the Fountain of Youth, one of the big prep races for the Derby down there in Florida, as we're getting closer and closer now to the Florida Derby.
Yeah, our first doubleheader of the Road to the Derby season, so there are still a lot of points to be had. If you still got some room to make up, ground to make up in the Road to the Derby standings, you have a lot of opportunities down the stretch here as we start to double and triple up down the stretch here of Road to the Derby. With that said, we return to where we started Road to the Derby with the Holy Bull back to Gulfstream Park as we get ready for a nice field in the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth.
Yes, we have a field of 9 as we take a look at this group, of course, featuring a horse that is a lot folks' number one pick on the Derby list right now, number 5, Dornock, for trainer Danny Gargan. Luis Saez will have the ride, the winner of the Grade 2 Remsen. Additionally, in this field is the horse that was the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year. That's number 8, Locked. Jose Ortiz riding for Todd Pletcher.
Yeah, really great field and really deep field here at the top. I think we have a couple horses that we're looking forward to seeing in that first Saturday of May. With that said, I did opt to go to Dornock over the likes of Locked. I think Locked may be the morning line favorite or maybe sent off as the favorite coming out of that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. With that said, very similar story to kind of maybe what we saw with Fierceness earlier here on the Road to the Derby, making his first start since that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So I opted to go with Dornock, who is still coming off a bit of a layoff himself, making that first start since the start in the Remsen back in November last year. With that said, he is a full brother to a Kentucky Derby winner, full brother to Mage, who, of course, won the Kentucky Derby last year. And for that reason, he's had a lot of eyes on him since the start. And he's proven to be very, very good here for trainer Danny Gargan. He picks up Luis Saez, who's got a couple wins here in this Fountain of Youth, winning back-to-back in 2014 and 15. He is so impressive in the Remsen, beating Sierra Leone, who I think has been the most impressive horse we've seen on the Road to the Derby so far. So I like Dornock. I think a lot of positives for him.
Dornock by Good Magic, who was the runner-up in the Derby to Justify in 2018, and out of a Big Brown mare, and of course Big Brown won the Derby back in 2008. I am going to go with Locked myself. I think that coming off that Breeders' Cup Juvenile, where that was not as bad a race as a lot of people think it was. Yes, did finish well behind Fierceness. I get that. But there was zero pace for this horse to run into in that race. The half mile was 47 seconds, and the 3/4 was 1:10.4. They really didn't move very fast in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and that allowed Fierceness to kind of dictate the terms in that race and win fairly easily. Still a very good third-place finish for Locked in there, and did win the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland in early October, and as I said again, was the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile when push came to shove. Is by Gun Runner out of a Malibu Moon mare. Todd Pletcher is the trainer, and I really got to think if Todd Pletcher's getting this horse out there to go, I think this horse is going to go.
I put Lock third and opt to go with another Todd Pletcher training second. The one we both agreed with in the second spot, that being number 1, Speakeasy, is worth noting. He is cross-entered on Saturday. He's also entered in an optional claiming race, so it'll be interesting to see which way Todd Pletcher opts to go here with the likes of Speakeasy. But with that said, he is 1 for 1 coming off a maiden victory, where he beat Victory Avenue, a horse that I like quite a bit in here as well, number 3 in this race here in the Fountain of Youth. Just kind of stalked him throughout before getting the best of him in the stretch. Won by a little over a length with leading jockey at Gulfstream Park, Irad Ortiz Jr., who's winning on both sides and wins and earnings for the Gulfstream Park meet. So there's a lot to like there. So for that reason, I think he'll handle the step up in distance. I don't think that'll be a problem going from 7 furlongs to a mile and a 16th. I opted to go with Speakeasy second on my ticket.
One horse that I liked in here a little bit as well, and I think you're going to fetch a little bit of a price on, is number 6, Merit. Now, Merit did finish third last time out on February 3rd, coming back off of some time off, had broken the maiden first shot out of the box by 10 lengths back in November at Gulfstream, then took time off, came back with a race on February 3rd, did finish behind the number 4 horse in here, Real Macho, but I think second start off the layoff, and given that very impressive first victory at 7 furlongs, I think that the 6 Merit might merit a look in here by Mastery out of a Vindication mare. So Safi Joseph is the trainer. I think that this one could possibly pop at a price in here, and I do have your top pick, Dornock, in the 4th spot.
I opted to round out my ticket with Victory Avenue, who I mentioned earlier, who finished second to Speakeasy last time out in that maiden victory. It is worth noting that both of these horses raced on Lasix in that maiden. They do have to come off Lasix due to Kentucky Derby rules. No racing on Lasix in these Kentucky Derby preps. With that said, he is a son of former Horse of the Year in Arrogate. Of course, there's a lot like there. And he's also trained by Gustavo Delgado, who trained Mage last year to the Kentucky Derby win. And this is a horse getting a very similar start to what Mage got last year on his trail to the Kentucky Derby. Mage started in a maiden before jumping in the Fountain of Youth for his second career start. Ended up finishing fourth behind the likes of Forte. So very, very similar planning here for Victory Avenue. He showed early speed in that maiden where he just got chased down late by Speakeasy, but didn't give up down the stretch. I thought he was still holding tough down the stretch, even when he knew he was beat by the likes of Speakeasy. So I think there's a lot to like here. And of course, John Velasquez, a Hall of Fame jockey aboard here. He won this race 5 times, including with the likes of Quality Road and future Kentucky Derby winner Orb, who went on to win the Kentucky Derby after winning the Fountain of Youth. So there's a lot to like here for Victory Avenue. I have to put him fourth at a price on my ticket.
And as you mentioned, Arrogate is the sire of this horse, also out of a Scat Daddy mare. 2 horses there, Arrogate and Scat Daddy, that unfortunately we didn't get to see too much of as far as progeny are concerned due to their passing away at a relatively young age. But, the fact that this horse has got both of those in there, and those are 2 very high names as far as breeding, is certainly something to watch. Tough to pick a maiden in here, but I do like the fact you included this one because I thought this one did also earn a little bit of respect with that second place finish.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for someone underneath those top 3 at maybe a little bit of a price, I think Victory Avenue is the way to go.
So as we take a look at our picks for the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth, Jacob is on Dornock on top, 5183 his top 4, and I have locked my top 4 rather, 8165. That is our look at the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth, which will be coming up this Saturday, part of the Road to the Derby Challenge here at Harrah's Hoosier Park. Be sure to join us at the track on Saturday for all the great races at Gulfstream Park, including the Devona Dale and some other fantastic graded stakes racing on a fantastic 14-race card, which will conclude with that Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. For Jacob Reinheimer, I'm Michael Chamberlain, wishing the best of luck to you all.